The great thing about being a governor is you can grant pardons to your children if they have been convicted of minor drug offenses. Case in point, Arkansas Governor Mike Beebe, who will be an outgoing governor, unfortunately he was not reelected, he has decided to pardon a bunch of people for nonviolent offenses, mostly drug offenses, and one of the people who will get a pardon is his own son, who's a 34-year-old by the name of Kyle Beebe. Now, apparently, he was arrested in 2003 for possession of marijuana with intent to deliver, which means he was planning on selling it. But you should also keep in mind that the governor has already granted over 700 pardons during his tenure, mostly for nonviolent offenses. So some people are concerned that this is a case of nepotism or favoritism or whatever toward his son. But no, the governor has a long history of helping people who have been convicted of these drug offenses. Now, I should note that he paid the consequences. He had 3 years of probation. He received a fine. He paid that fine. However, the Arkansas Parole Board recommended that he get a pardon, and he got the pardon.
So on this, I'm also split. So yes, I'll tell you why. If I'm the dad and I've got a son that I knew had gotten convicted on this stuff, would I pardon a lot of people for that same crime earlier so that when right before I left, I pardoned my son, it wouldn't look as fishy?
Win-win for everyone.
Right. That's why I'm split, because I don't care. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? So they should be pardoned for these nonviolent offenses anyway. Marijuana sale and possession and usage should all be legal. It's a crying shame that they get convicted in the first place. So I pardon the governor for pardoning his son. Okay?
So
pardons for everybody.
So you're not really split.
No, so I'm not buying that he was totally neutral in the case.
Oh.
And by the way, that's not such a bad thing either, right? So because he had a son in that situation, he was more empathetic to other people in that situation. Great. No harm in that either. So I'm not buying the motivations that much, but it's irrelevant at the end because I'm glad he pardoned his son, and I'm glad he pardoned 700 people along with his son.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I guess I agree with you. I don't really care if he's neutral or not. What I care about is that these nonviolent offenders will now have their records cleaned after, they got convicted of something stupid like drug offenses. I mean, he had 2 ounces of weed. Okay, he was selling weed 11 years ago. It's not that big of a deal. Everyone's going to be fine.
Let him go!
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to yell it because you already let him go.
And think about how much that impacts the rest of your life, right? Like, all right, your father's a governor, so I'm sure you're going to be fine. But for all of those people who have been convicted of a nonviolent drug offense, let's say they serve their time or their parole or whatever they have to deal with, probation, I should say. Afterwards, you've been convicted of a crime, right? That's going to be more difficult for you to get a job, which is why it's really important for this kind of stuff to be taken off your record.